Hey, frijoles! Goyo boya! What are we having?
I'm gonna make Cuban black beans,
Nice.
and this is my way. I mean, it's more authentic than the. I make the black beans. I make the black bean stew, but this one's actually going to be the authentic type of Cuban black beans that you put over rice. All right, so we're going to start in the beginning. I'm going to make what's known as a Latin mirepoix, which is a Cuban-style sofrito. And to do that, I'm going to need 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to need half a cup of onions, and it's going to be chopped. Half a cup of peppers. I'm just using the green bell peppers today, and those are chopped. 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Now, if you use a garlic, it's like what, 1 to 3. I don't know. I just use. I do it by the tablespoon. That's 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Right next to it is half a teaspoon of salt and about like an 1/8 teaspoon of brown black pepper. In the back, we have about 1 cup of smoked, well, this is actually smoked pork chop, but you can use smoked ham like Serrano ham or any kind of smoked ham. So it's about 1 cup there. And I have right next to it, I have about like 1 or 2 bay leaves. It doesn't matter if you use 1 or 2. I'm using 2 for this black beans. In the back, I have a 1/4 teaspoon of oregano and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin. All right. And I have 1 1/2 teaspoon of vinegar and 3 tablespoons of wine. Now, you can use any kind of wine. You can use red cooking wine. Doesn't really matter. You can use it's like a dry Spanish wine, a Merlot.
Vino.
Yeah, so 3 tablespoons. In the back, I have 1 can of black beans. Now, the Cuban black beans, usually if you take the dry beans and you put water in it and you cook it overnight or you soak it overnight, I'm not into that. I just use the can. It's much faster. And then instead
Does it have to be Goya? Could it be Libby's or
it could be anything as long as it's black beans.
Oh, really?
That was on special, so I use whatever's on special. And I'm going to use Progresso. Well, this is a chicken broth. I don't know exactly how much I use. It depends because you want the black beans to be a little bit thick. But I put a little bit inside the can, and I'll measure to find out exactly how much I need.
Now, this chicken stock, does it have to be College Inn, or could it be Progresso or any other brand?
It could be any brand.
Chicken stock, or you can even make it yourself, right, with the chicken?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so we're back here, and I'm going to add my 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, and my pan is already hot. Okay, and I'm going to add the onions. 1 cup of onions. I'm just going to let that get a little bit soft. Not too much, but just a little bit soft. And I'm going to raise my fire that high. Nice, about medium high, medium heat. Doesn't have to be cooked down all the way. It's just a little bit translucent right there. I'm going to add the peppers. And I like my black beans very flavorful. Okay. Next thing I'm going to add is the garlic. Salt, just a little bit, and just a tiny bit of pepper. There we go. Put it away. I'm going to lower the heat because you can smell it. It's really coming out nicely. I don't want my garlic to burn. Okay, there we go. Now that is a Latin mirepoix. It's known as a Cuban sofrito. Okay, next thing I'm going to add is my meat. I like ham inside my beans. Raise the fire up a little bit. Just let this cook for a little bit. And somehow that smokiness of the ham gives that beans a very nice flavor.
And it's salty too, so it's juicy.
That's why I only add a little bit of salt and pepper, just very little, because the smokiness of these ham, it gives it flavor, and also of the chicken broth.
Yeah, they actually call it smoked pork chops.
Well, this one's pork chops.
But we found out that it actually tastes like ham, right?
Yeah, it is ham. But this is pork chop actually. It's not made from the ham shank. Okay. Let that cook for a second. So I'm doing just infusing all the flavors with the ham. It gives off a little bit of that oil, so you can see in the bottom. It just gives very little. All right. You smell that? That's nice. Okay, the next thing I'm going to add is the actual beans. There you go. I add everything in there, including the little juices in there. You just lower the fire, very low. There we go. And let me just blend this. And in Cuban black beans, no tomato sauce is added. No type of tomatoes added.
So you're not gonna add any?
No. And you see the black beans, like the ones you get at a restaurant, they're not like this, but I just like a lot of flavor in mine. Okay, so I got that there. Now what I'm gonna do is.
Now what difference would it have made if you would have, you know, done it with the original style that you have to water
It just tastes like black beans. That's all it does. It just tastes like black beans.
Are they more softer?
No, I mean, it's just black beans. If I use the dry beans, if you want to make it thicker, you take a couple of these beans and you mash them down and you put them back in, and it'll make it very nice and thick.
What are you doing over there?
Okay, I'm going to add about, just going to get all those yummies in there. So what I did was I added the chicken broth. Now, I don't know exactly how much this is, so I bought my little friend here measuring cup to see how much I have here. Okay, that's half a cup.
You're getting some extra juices in there.
So about like 3/4 of a cup. Okay, and it looks like it's going to be very watery, but it's not, because I let this cook for about an hour. Okay, it's gonna reduce down to a very thick type of a stew type. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just add all the other ingredients. This is my oregano. This is my cumin, and the cumin really is what distinguishes that Cuban style. Okay, and the vinegar. Vinegar is another Cuban type of thing. And here are my 3 tablespoons of wine. Okay, and my bay leaves.
Nice.
Alright, so basically that's it. So
no oranges?
No.
Because a lot of Cubans like putting oranges.
No, not in the beans. The beans, for the Cuban beans, what distinguishes by other beans is the vinegar and the cumin.
Where's my pumpkin?
I'm not going to put the pumpkin in here. You can add pumpkin, but I'm going to roast pumpkin.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Alright, so we're just going to cook this on very, very low heat.
Okay.
I mean, very low heat for about an hour.
Okay.
So we'll be back in about an hour.
Nice.
I've been heating this up. It's been like about over an hour actually. And I'm going to thicken it up a little bit. So what I'm going to do, just going to take it off the flame for a second. Bring it over here. And I'm just going to take out the bay leaves. Now, my beans are very, very flavorful. These are my black beans. And there's a reason why I'm taking this out. Now, one of the secrets to make very thick black beans is you take a couple of these beans and you mash them down, and it becomes very thick. But I use my little friend here, my quad blade.
Quad?
Yeah, and what I do is I just go just a little bit. And let's make it, see, just a little bit thicker.
Yeah, it looks thickish already.
Yeah, so I made it just a little bit thicker. So you can see now it's a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to let it cook a little bit more until it gets nice and thick. So, I mean, I can keep doing it. It'll get thicker and thicker, but I don't want it too thick.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put it in the back here. And I'm just going to let it cook a little bit longer. And we'll be right back.
Cool.
Alright.
Nice. Little frijoles.
Yeah, I usually serve this with roasted pumpkin, I love. I mean, black beans with pumpkin taste so delicious.
You can have some.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put some on top.
Nice. Where's the pumpkin on the side?
This is just this.
Okay. Nice.
Okay, let's put some of the sauce over it.
Beautiful.
Okay, I just want to give it to you. But I mean, it tastes really good with some pumpkin on the side. Okay, you can see it's black bean with rice.
Smell it.
Yes, I'm just gonna give you one right now with just the. And I'm gonna give it to you with the smoke hand. Look how that smoke hand just cuts. Look at that. It's tender.
Wow, those frijoles, they taste like my grandma's.
Yeah. All right, so there you got it. And if you use fresh black beans, the one you gotta soak at night, they become very, very black. But usually when you do them in a can, they usually come out like this.
Hey, that's the only one I know of. So.
All right, so as
I'm
you can
happy.
Yeah, so let me keep feeding you. I mean, but you can see, I make really delicious moro, which is rice mixed with black beans. That's really delicious, and I do have a video on that. But this is just separate. This is just black beans with the white rice.
Wow, beautiful. It's heaven.
All right, so bon appetit, honey.
Thank you.
Little Cuban style here.